everyone, my name is Ananda Safitri. My student ID number is 632509557 from the UBSI Sleepy. Today, I would like to talk about something that is very important in our daily life, which is changing bad habits. Every person has habits. Some are good habits that help us grow and become better, such as studying regularly, waking up early, and being responsible. However, we also have bad habits that can slowly affect our future in a negative way. For example, procrastinating, spending too much time on social media, being lazy, or not managing our time well. At first, bad habits may seem small and harmless, but if we keep doing them, they can become part of our daily routine and make of life more difficult. That is why it is very important to recognize and change them before they become worse. Changing a bad habit is not easy, but it is possible. The first step is awareness. We need to release and admit the habits that are holding us back. Without awareness, we cannot improve ourselves. The second step is making a strong decision to change. Real change starts from our mindset. If we truly want a better life, we must be willing to leave our bad habits behind. The third step is starting small. We do not need to change everything at once. For example, if we want to reduce screen time, we can start by limiting it little by little each day. Small progress is still progress. The fourth step is replacing bad habits with good ones. Instead of wasting time, we can read books, exercise, or learn new skills. Good habits will slowly replace the bad ones in our daily life. We also need consistency and patience. Sometimes we may fail and return to old habits, but that is okay. The important thing is to keep trying and not give up. In addition, our environment plays a big role in shaping our habits. Being around positive and supportive people can help us stay motivated to change. In conclusion, everyone has bad habits, but they are not permanent. We have the power to change them step by step. Start small, stay consistent, and believe in yourself because in the end, our habit will shape our future. If we change our habit today, we can build a better life tomorrow. Thank you for your attention. Part 2. Today, I would like to talk about countable nouns, which is one of the basic topics in English grammar. This topic is important because we use it in our daily conversation, especially when we talk about things that we can count. Definition. So, what are countable nouns? Countable nouns are nouns that we can count one by one. This means we can say 1, 2, 3, and so on. For example, we can say one book, two books, or three apples. Because of that, countable nouns have two forms, singular and plural. Characteristic. Now, let's look at the characteristic of countable nouns. First, they can be counted. Second, they have singular and plural forms. Third, we can use numbers before them like 1, 2, or 3. And Lastly, we can use article like a, and the. These characteristics make countable nouns easy to recognize. Singular form. Next is the singular form. Singular form means we are talking about only one thing. In this case, we usually use a or an before the noun. For example, a cat, a table, or an egg. We add a before consonant sound and n before vowel sounds. Plural form. Now let's talk about plural form. Plural form means more than one. To make a noun plural, we usually add s or is at the end of the word. For example, cat becomes cats, table becomes tables, and egg becomes eggs. Plural rules. There are some rules to make plural nouns. First, we add s for most nouns like book becomes books. Second, we add es for words ending in certain letters like box becomes box. And third, some nouns are irregular, which means they change completely, like child becomes children. So, we need to remember these rules. Using a and n. Now, let's focus on using a and n. We use a before words that start with a consonant sound like a dog or a car, and we add n before words that start with a vowel sound like an apple or an egg. This helps our pronunciations sound more natural. Using numbers. One important thing about countable nouns is that we can use numbers with them. For example, we can say one pen, two chairs, or five students. This shows clearly how many objects we are talking about. This is something we cannot always do with uncountable nouns. Example is sentence. Here are some examples in sentence. I have two books. She bought a bag. There are three cars in the parking lot. These examples show how countable nouns are used in real life. Question form. Now, how do we ask questions? We ask how many when we ask about countable nouns. For example, how many apples do you have? Or how many students are in the class? So remember, how many is used for things we can count. Common countable nouns. Some common examples of countable nouns are apple, car, book, student, and chair. These are things that we see and ask every day because they can be counted. They are all countable nouns. Countable versus uncountable. Now let's compare countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns can be counted like apples or books, but uncountable nouns cannot be counted directly like water, sugar, or rice. So this is an important difference that we need to understand. Common mistakes. There are some common mistakes when using countable nouns. For example, we cannot say many water. because water is uncountable. Instead, we say many bottles of water. Also, we should not say informations because information is uncountable. This. Now, let's do a simple practice. Please try to make sentence using 2 apples, 1 teacher, and 5 books. This will help you understand the topic better. Conclusion. In conclusion, countable nouns are nouns that we can count. They have singular and plural form. We can use number and article like a and an. Understanding countable nouns will help us speak and read English more correctly. Thank you for your attention.